Hello everyone and welcome back to the Dark Souls livestream series. I have once again decided to put my windscreen on my microphone. This is the first time that I'm doing it in a Dark Souls livestream, but it is the second time that I'm doing it in general. This time the microphone positioning is going to be a little different again, because I realized that in that previous recording that I did, which was in Monster Hunter, my microphone was still a little bit too close to my mouth, so we're going to hope, or rather I'm going to hope, you're not going to care much either way, provided it sounds good enough. I'm going to hope that it will still be acceptable in terms of sound quality, and yeah, I will now proceed with the live stream because you guys don't care about little specifics like that. It's been a little while since I last played this game, it feels. I suppose it's been about a week. I shouldn't say that. Because I actually used to go several months without playing the game, but because I have been playing it a lot more recently, taking a week away from it does feel like a little while. So we are back now, and I'm happy to say that I'm pretty sure that I actually got a little bit done off camera, didn't I? Let's actually double check, I'm interested to see. Did I? Well, no, I don't think I upgraded that. Oh, I think I fully upgraded this off camera. So if you'll recall, in the previous recording we got our ideal chime for the faith build that we're making here, and that was the dragon chime. This is ideal, I should actually add, for lightning BNS specifically. We will have a separate chime that we will equip in left weapon 3, or left hand 3 is what I usually say, because it's not necessarily a weapon that you would place here, so it's more like left hand, right hand. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know why they decided to call it left weapon, but anyway. Yes, so left hand 3 will have a chime that will be specific to dark BNS. So this here is going to do just fine for now, because the one for dark BNS is actually going to be from one of the final bosses of the game. So there you are. I do have a little bit more that I think I'm going to do with the build before I actually proceed further through the game. Some of you might be wondering that. I may as well recap why I'm actually putting so much effort into this build. It's not going to be a detailed explanation, just for those of you who need a little bit of catching up, and perhaps need some explanation as to why I haven't actually been playing through the game itself, despite the fact that I have a little bit more to do. I went through this build for pretty much all the way up to the point of getting the King's Ring, so killing Velstadt. I don't believe that I've killed Vendrick yet, but up until killing Velstadt and acquiring the King's Ring, I had done almost nothing to make this a proper faith build. I was just going through the game very casually, not putting much effort into it at all, and by it I mean the build itself, and I came back to this game, was left aghast at how, just how negligent I had been with the build. And I've decided to take a number of recordings to actually make it into a proper faith build. There are a few more things that I have left to do before I feel that I'm ready to continue through the game. When I say ready, I don't mean in terms of am I able to effectively continue through the game. I mean, am I comfortable with the amount of progression with the build to then proceed? Just generally speaking, you know, what I'm doing is everything that probably should have been done up until that point, but which I had not done by dint of active laziness on my part. Is there anything else for me to say? Probably not. I may as well go through the weapons that I have on hand. I probably did this on camera, didn't I? I'm pretty sure that I infused this with lightning on camera. One thing that I do have a dearth of at this point, which I will need many more of, or at least a large number of them, is petrified dragon bones. I do not have many to my name. I think I have 2, which is not enough to upgrade anything right now. Come on. Yeah, I don't have any. I have actually successfully used all of the ones that I had on hand previously to upgrade something, and I think it may have actually been this sword. So there you go. Oh, game performance is really bad, now that I look at it. Why would that be? What would be causing bad game performance right now? Oh. Google Chrome being open. Google Chrome. Gotta love Chrome. Come on, just get off my screen, man. I think in addition to that, it's like there are a lot of temporary files running on my system at the moment. Does that make sense? Background processes, temporary files, whatever you want to say. I'm just making sure that it... Like, literally, you press X on the Chrome window and it refuses to close. Google decides that we will not close now. Come on, go away. I will end you via Task Manager if necessary. It's not even open as one of the... It must be open as a background process, but it's coming up as if it is still... Hello? Yes. Go away. Why? I'm just trying to do a recording. Is that so unacceptable? You are so gone right now. I only had a Chrome window open for one thing or another. I generally don't use Chrome. Slowly but surely ending all background processes for that. Because it doesn't want to close manually. There we go. Goodbye. Alright, so I'm hoping that now we're going to get a little bit more smooth running. Here we go. That's what I want. As soon as I saw that poor game performance, I was concerned because, you know, once I'm live and then I'm having game performance issues, it's a little bit awkward because I have to actually find a resolution while live, otherwise we're in trouble. But anyway, I'm not entirely happy with my allocation of the petrified dragon bones that I previously had on hand to this weapon, or to the improving of this weapon, because it's not going to be my strongest weapon. I had a moment of weakness, and I thought that this sword looked really cool, and I wanted to use it, and then I actually compared the stats, I think actually after having leveled it up, with the other weapons that I already had forged, and it was pathetically weak by comparison. I shouldn't say pathetically weak, but it was significantly weaker. We're talking about 100 points of difference. When I say 100 points, I mean, you know, the end damage figure that you get, whether it's physical or fire or, you know, some other elemental BNS related amount. Yes, the end figure was about 100 points lower than almost everything else. So I do feel a little bad for having put the petrified dragon bones into this thing, but the only, I suppose, consolation that I can offer to myself would be that my intention is to fully upgrade everything. So, yeah, I guess it's okay for now. I do actually enjoy the fact that there is a flowing lava effect. It's not just a static appearance that the weapon has. It's quite nice. I do have a new beverage today. It's one that I've been meaning to have for a long time, but actually haven't had. Hand on heart, I swear to you, this is not a vodka, okay? This is not Grey Goose, and this is not a vodka that looks like Grey Goose. It is, in fact, an Australian spirit. Let's see if I can show this to you here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but the label, actually, much like Grey Goose, has... So the label that is stuck on the outside actually has an image on the inside of the bottle, and there is a window to look into the bottle to actually see the image on the label, so you can actually see, depending on how I tilt the bottle, you can actually see the image inside it. It's quite a nice spirit. It's more similar to a gin than a vodka. It's called Vantage, and it is specifically Australian. It is described as a unique Australian spirit made with premium native botanicals following a proud tradition. Primarily, you're going to get a flavour of lemon myrtle and I think it said mandarin oil. Yeah, mandarin oil, which is quite interesting. And also Tasmanian peppers, which is very interesting. I have to say, it's different to any gin that I've had. You can get a lot of different gins. The last gin that I had that was quite citrusy in flavour was an Australian gin called Green Ant, and it literally has green ants inside the bottle. That one also tastes notably different to this, in that it still retains that gin taste. Whereas this is just a different spirit entirely. I don't really know what to call it. It's a botanical spirit that is noticeably different to that of a gin, and it's not really a vodka either. You don't have that strong ethanol fucking taste like you would get with a vodka. I've always found myself incredulous to the decision to even have infused or flavored vodkas. It's like, what are you doing? Just get a real fucking spirit. I don't like vodka at all. That's a weird habit. I was tilting my glass as I was pouring into it. Been pouring too much beer and wine lately. Or carbonated wine, I should say. Anyway, cheers everyone. It's a nice enough spirit. It's a nice beverage to have as sort of a companion to playing anything really, but obviously Souls is nice. I feel that it's good to have a nice spirit on hand when playing Souls. It puts you in a nice relaxed state of mind instead of, you know, just going full strength, frustration. I'm sure that there are much better ways for me to describe that. Instead of being in a neutral state where I might actually be susceptible to the full dosage of frustration that this game can deal out, I am instead putting myself in a more relaxed state of mind, which leaves me in better stead to deal with whatever this game throws at me. I told you I could have phrased that better. Sometimes you just need to start afresh. Okay, so let's get our tasks out. I don't know why I didn't already have them up. And I don't know why I didn't refer to them before going live. So, two things that we definitely can't get right now. I need to remove some of these things from the task list because I've already acquired them. Very good. Officially, the last thing on our task list was the only thing that I had in mind for going live today, and that is leveling up the Sunlight Covenant. So we've already done... I'll tell you the reason why we waited until the very last task that we needed to complete in order to do the Sunlight Covenant. It is because everything else actually required a bit of grinding, whether it would be for this particular armor set, or for, say, Twinkling Titanite to upgrade the armor set, and indeed to upgrade this as well, which therefore necessitated the use, or the joining of, the Covenant of Champions, which is our current Covenant. That actually prevents monsters from despawning. I could have technically gone back and forth between the Sunlight Covenant and the Champions Covenant through the cat in Majula, but I decided that that would be a bit time-consuming and a little bit frustrating. So what I have instead decided to do is do everything that I need the Covenant of Champions in order to effectively complete, and now that I have done that, I can leave the Covenant of Champions through the cat in Majula. What that actually does is it prevents you from losing your progress in the Covenant. Speaking of which, I probably should offer my Covenant items to the Covenant, because I have acquired some. I don't know what they're called, I don't remember. Ore Stone, that's what they're called. Now, you'd think if it were Ore Stone, it would be in this section, but I'm quite sure that it's not. But yeah, I have been getting a lot of Ore Stones. I don't think there's much point in... Here they are, so 18. I think you need 30 of them in order to fully upgrade or fully level up the Covenant, but I'll offer 18 of them, just for completionist's sake, and just to show that I am actually leveling up this Covenant that I've been a part of for a number of recordings now. But yeah, if you, as I understand it, if you don't actually leave the Covenant through the cat, and instead abandon the Covenant, it's a different sort of thing. I think it's still referred to as abandoning if you do it through the cat, but if you do it through the cat, it will not permanently erase whatever progress you've had in the Covenant up until that point. So, oh, there's a black space on my green screen. Well, thank you for alerting me to that fact sooner rather than later. Is that a black spot? Where is it? I'm sure that you're correct, and I just haven't been able to spot it. I need a more solid background from which to determine this. Maybe this is better. Can I see it now? Oh, you're right, yes. There we go, simple as that. Should be taken care of now. That saves the both of us from being annoyed by that for the rest of the recording. Alright, let's kneel at the Covenant and offer Ore Stone. I am assuming, because we are playing not Demon Souls, nor Dark Souls. Well, there were no Covenants in Demon Souls, but the point is, because we're not playing the first Dark Souls, we should be able to offer all of our Ore Stones all at once. No? No, we do have to still do it individually. I had no memory of being able to do it in multiples, but I thought that I may as well, so my only choice, quite shockingly, even though we've gone from Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 2, with lots of quality of life improvements having been implemented in this game, we are indeed still offering our Covenant items individually. Maybe the reason why is because it's easier for them to have you reach a threshold, or at least present to you the fact that you have passed a threshold if you do it one at a time. That's all well and good, but it's bloody inconvenient. It was something that used to bother me back when Dark Souls was brand new, right? You know, I wasn't just blissfully unaware of what could possibly be a more convenient arrangement. It wasn't that. It was just fucking slow and annoying back then, and it continues to be slow and annoying in the game that followed that one. My devotion in the Covenant has deepened. I have to do this 18 times, for goodness sake. And I have gained a rank. I have acquired Great Magic Weapon as a result. I should mention that I'm not going to really get anything of benefit out of doing all of this. I think when you fully upgrade the Covenant, you do end up getting the 3rd Dragon Ring. Wait, no, that's not true. It's the Soldier's Ring plus 3, I think. The Soldier's Ring is similar to the Dragon Rings, but I think it's only going to increase your... That doesn't sound right. It can't be only your equip load. It's similar to the Dragon Rings, but I don't remember how it is similar. Because I don't have 20 stones and instead have only 18, I will not actually be able to level up more than once with this Covenant. It will go to level 2, and then that's it. Because presumably I will need 20 stones in order to get it to level 2. Sorry, in order to get it to level 3. It starts at level 1, then you go to level 2. It doesn't start at level 0, Doomlink. Let's make that abundantly clear. You have no offerings. Well, thank God for that. That was a most scintillating experience, Doomlink, and thank you for sharing that with everyone. Gripping. Arresting. It was a most arresting presentation. Alright, so the cat, as I said, is whom we want to speak to in order to not lose that progress that we have just made. So we can abandon Covenants. So we can actually get a list of Covenants. You can see, oh, okay, I am completely full of shit. It turns out we do not start at rank 1. Okay, I must abjure what I said before. Indeed, we start at rank 0, which to me doesn't make any sense. I think it makes sense that when you join the Covenant, much like the original Dark Souls, if I am remembering correctly, you start at rank 1, and then when you make an offering, you move to the next rank. But no, in this game, you start at rank 0, which I sort of understand is designed to make it clearer. So if I have reached rank 2, that means I've given 20, or at least 20, of whatever the Covenant offering is. Whereas it's not quite as clear if you're starting at rank 1, but to me, that's still not confusing, so I don't think that was a necessary change. Anyway, so let's abandon the Covenant, and if we do it this way, we shouldn't lose that level. Watch it fucking change when I go to the Covenant list. No. Okay, so basically, we will now go to where the Covenant of Sunlight can be found. We've already been there before. That is obviously evidenced not only by the fact that it's in that list that we were just looking at before, but we also have the Sun Seal, which is the ring that you acquire when you first join the Covenant. The Sun Seal is something that we have equipped not to really do anything relating to the Covenant, but actually the ring has its own effect, which is to increase the damage of miracles, I think, by 5%. It's about a 5% increase. It could even be less. It could be fucking 2%. My basic and vague memory is that it's about a 5% increase to the BNS of your miracles. It may actually only be lightning BNS, in fact. I don't remember if it's also dark. Okay, so let's go and make our way to the Sunlight Covenant. I have not been there in a long time, and I'll tell you what, this game hadn't been out for very long when I was last leveling up. The Faith Covenant, or the Covenant of Sunlight, I might actually... Oh, I need to purchase some human effigies. I don't know how I managed to consume them all. Waste them all might be a better verb. But I have done. So, I need to go and get some more. I have 14,000 souls on hand. I can actually get more, to be honest. I might go and purchase as many as I can with 14,000 souls, and then I will evaluate how many more can be purchased from the vendor in the Undead Crypt up ahead. I can't remember his name. And if indeed I can buy many more, I will use some Giant Lord souls which remain in my inventory for these very circumstances. Do not produce light. Hold on, does this sword produce light? This sword might produce light. So just in case it does, I'm going to equip this. Technically, we produce light. Do you see how the environment is lighting up just slightly when we walk into it? I think we produce light. Maybe we don't. Maybe that's just a visual effect. It's not literally happening. Anyway. I could also be wrong about that. I'm just remembering, like, for example, Demon Souls, where you do actually have this thing on your belt that produces light. But I guess that's just not a thing here. Okay, how many human effigies do you have? Literally 3. I can't remember how many he had, but I think he had 10. So, I have reason to assume at this stage that I've burned through, well, 7 human effigies with this guy. Which is a bit sad, but, what we will do is promptly pretend that that never happened. Oh no, I've only purchased the... Oh no, I have only purchased the ones from Melentia. I've not purchased any from him. That never happened. Okay, Harvest Valley. I have to say that it's a very strange location for the Sunlight Covenant to be in, but where else would it be? It almost makes more sense for it to be somewhere in Majula where the sun is actually properly shining. But I think it's meant to look ruinous. It looks as if it's a covenant that is... it's had its day. Or the worshipping of the sun is no longer quite as prevalent as it once was. Of the weapons that I actually have at the moment, I don't know what my favourites would be. I'd say my favourite would be, generally speaking, this one here, but the one that obviously deals the most damage at this stage would be this one. I do very much like the Sacred Chime Hammer, obviously because it works rather nicely aesthetically with my build. But yeah, if I really want the most possible damage with a weapon, I would probably use either the Black Knight Great Axe or the Sacred Chime Hammer. The Lightning Lost Sinner Sword is also good in certain situations. Let's see how much damage we're dealing here. That is looking a whole lot better than it has done in the past. We have a fully upgraded Chime with some great lightning spears rather than standard lightning spears. And yeah, that's... it could be a whole lot worse than that. We've seen it a whole lot worse. Goodbye, Mr. Green Man. You are something of a guinea pig. You are something for me to demonstrate my miracle efficacy on. Maybe not efficacy. Oh. Maybe just for demonstrations. For purposes of demonstration, I will fight you with Yellow Blade. Not Sunlight Blade, but Yellow Blade. Feels like a little bit of a waste to just backstab him after all that, but yeah, because that's always going to be very high damage. Alright, the sun is shining just in this one specific location. There is a ruinous statue. Let us enter the Covenant. Join Heirs of the Sun. Now, I don't actually know precisely how I'm going to level up this Covenant. I could either, when I say I don't know, I'm not saying that I don't know how to, I'm saying that I'm not sure how I'm actually going to end up doing it. So I could either kill bosses while being summoned, because every time I kill a boss while I'm being summoned as a member of this Covenant, I will indeed acquire Sunlight Medals. But I don't know what the online community is like in this game. Obviously, for what felt like a year, or maybe even longer, it wasn't even possible to play online in this game. That was a long story, and I'm not privy to all of the details about that, to be honest. Hello, Alex Young, good to see you. Thank you for managing bot messages again, P-Berry. Okay, what am I doing? I am probably going to consider which boss would be most likely to get me summoned to fight it. I think the problem here is that I have leveled myself up really, really high, so I definitely can't do this with any low-level bosses. What you have to realize is that it's not just, like, one thing that really mucks up the balancing of multiplayer in this game is it is not based on how many soul levels you have. It is based on, I can't remember what it's called. It's not soul memory, is it? It's something else. But basically it's that figure on the far top right. So that top right figure is the total number of souls that you have acquired. Now that is what is going to determine whether or not you can actually join a session. So, yeah. Apparently there are still 300 odd players on Vanilla Dark Souls 2 on PC. Scholar of the First Sin is at 2,500. I don't know why there are so many people playing Scholar of the First Sin. I think it might be because they don't know anything better. Like, they don't know any better, it's the newest version, why play the older version? Well, there are reasons why. Scholar of the First Sin is not really an improved version of the fucking game. It's just a different version. I think there's this assumption that it's like a remaster. It's really not. It's just a fucking randomizer. So that's a little bit unfortunate that more people are playing Scholar of the First Sin, even though it is probably a worse experience for a number of reasons, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know how you're getting those numbers, P-Berry, but that's good. I think 300 is a decent number. Now for a boss that I might actually be summoned to fight. Maybe we can try the Looking Glass Knight. Maybe I can assist there. I would probably end up being summoned for a New Game Plus fight, to be honest. Now, do you suppose it would be better to go to the boss door, or to just place my sign near the bonfire? Let's try the bonfire to start with. I don't even know if I have a summoning sign. I probably don't. How do I acquire one, for God's sake? I think in Dark Souls 3, they just give you one. Automatically. The same can be said of Elden Ring. How do I get my summon sign? It's not in key items, is it? No, it wouldn't be. I mean, I do have the Black Separation Crystal, which makes sense, because, yeah, that is something that is automatically given to you. But looks like I don't actually have my Soapstone. I seem to recall that it's much easier to get the small Soapstone rather than the full-sized one in this game. Because I remember when I first played this game, I was actually getting, or rather I was using the small one for so long without actually having acquired the full-sized one. So I'm going to have to double-check to see where to actually get that. Okay. White Sign, Soapstone. Yes, yes. There's a whole lot about what it does, but not about where to acquire it. Unless I'm blind. Location. given to you by a mild-mannered pate in the Forest of Fallen Giants. And I'm assuming that I haven't killed him or done anything untoward to the man. So, let's just hope that he's still there. Cross my fingers. Don't worry, Arexian, my powers of online research are faster than your powers of informing Doomlink in a livestream. I don't really want to use this weapon. It's boring. It's got no scaling on it. Here we go. Yes, I know all about you and your turtling strategy. That's why I very impatiently started attacking you. Oh. Hello. What's the cause of this, do you think? Is it because... Oh, why did I... Oh, I know precisely why I did that. I think I may have... Or do I know why I did that? Basically, what happened was I used a bonfire ascetic on this bonfire. I initially thought it might have been to fight the pursuer again. But that doesn't make sense. Why would I have... Oh no, I think I may have done that. But how would I have missed out on the Ring of Blades? Unless it was to get like an... No, that is still the standard level Ring of Blades, so I don't know why I would have used a bonfire ascetic on that bonfire. This guy is so tricky. I think it's because he's attacking much faster than me. Yeah, alright. No you don't, you prick. Just get him in a stun lock. Poor bastard. That's what you get for using the standard knight set. Give me the green blossom. Mild-mannered pate is here. I will speak to him. Presumably I have to let him lower the gate first.
Well, I hope you... Oh, Hogwarts. My name...
But just in case, I will speak to him without actually going past. Alright, he's going to make me go all the way through, so I will indulge him. I'll use the smelter sword. Why? I don't know, I feel like it. So keep in mind, this location is actually in New Game Plus at the moment. If you're wondering why I'm not killing everyone instantly with my almost endgame weapons, I'd say this weapon is just about endgame. Not quite, but it's getting there. Should be enough to one-shot all of these enemies, but again, it is not New Game level. Alright. Good night. If you're going to be ranged, I'm going to be ranged, unless your friend wants to protect you. Fucking explosion in your face. As you can see though, those fire explosions are really, I suppose, damaging to the durability of the sword. So I'm actually already just about, well, I'm definitely a third of the way through the durability of this fucking weapon, and I've only just equipped the damn thing. So if you're wondering why I'm making so many weapons for this build, if you're relying on one, you've got a problem. That's pretty much the situation in Dark Souls 2. It's the first game where you can actually replenish the durability of your weapon by sitting at a bonfire, so they try to make it so that the weapons are generally less durable. Yeah, just give me the fucking stone. Why do I have to talk to you 1,000 times to get the fucking stone? I don't have to wonder why I usually kill you. No, I usually kill him for his weapon. I think it's quite a good dexterity-focused spear. I seem to recall that it has a 25 dexterity requirement. And yeah, it's really good for the early game. I tend to kill him in my dexterity builds to get that spear right in the beginning. And then I put all of my points into dexterity, so that I can use it as soon as possible. I'm just going through the area normally because I guess it's New Game Plus, so I'm getting stuff from them. Alright, yes, I know how you're designed. See that shit? It's just they're a little bit different in how they're designed to enemies in other games. I wanted to circle around them, but they... As soon as I moved away from them, their actual AI went, oh, I'm going to put my sword over my head and run at this guy to box me into the corner. I mean, that is bullshit. It's fine, it just means that you have to change your tactics. I wouldn't even describe it as being harder to deal with, it just requires a different approach. So, you know, that approach would have worked perfectly fine in pretty much every other Souls game, but no, this is Dark Souls 2, where the enemies are more pursuant than in any other fucking game. Way more aggressive. That obviously was not as effective as the last time I did that attack on these enemies. Come on. I'm being turtled by a guy without a shield. What a prick. Hello, Ethan. Well, should be safe to pick these up now. Great Soul Arrow, in case I needed that again. I've no need for that, for fairly obvious reasons. Alright, I have the White Sign Soapstone now. As long as I am in the Covenant of Sunlight, placing down the White Sign Soapstone will actually give it a golden colour. And if I am summoned to a world and assist the world host in killing a boss, while I am part of the Sunlight Covenant, I will receive a medal as a result. So again, my guess is that the Looking Glass Knight would be one of the bosses that I am most likely to actually get someone to summon me for at this soul level. Or with the number of total souls that I've acquired with this build. I'll put my sign down here, you can see it's got a yellow colour. There I am, I've got my big long helmet. I have to say, the name Jade just doesn't really work with this build anymore, does it? I must have had a different sort of build in mind. It's obviously a female character, but it's no longer got a... yeah, it just doesn't work, does it? But that's alright. And now we wait. Patiently. But yeah, the profile image of this build is quite funny because the helmet is so damn tall. It doesn't actually fit in the profile picture quite well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a little while here by the bonfire to see if anyone summons me. Just because this is obviously where people might first use their human effigies to try and look for signs. If this proves unavailing, I will go to the boss door and then hope I get summoned there. We'll see how things play out. There is also the possibility that I won't actually be summoned at all. Which is annoying because I do... oh, unless I try to help people with the final boss. I could help with, like, the Throne Defenders, Nashandra, Aldia. Nothing wrong with that. Do I... how does that work? Because it's like a triple boss fight, right? So if I'm summoned for it, and the guy hasn't actually killed the Throne Defenders yet, am I going to get a Sunlight Medal when he kills the Throne Defenders, and then I can continue on to get another Sunlight Medal from Nashandra, and then another one from Aldia? Or do I only get a Sunlight Medal when all of them are dead? That is the question. I actually don't remember how that works, because I'm pretty sure that it doesn't desummon your companions when you kill one of them. So is it registered as a successful boss kill? I do not remember. Potato insists that it is 3 medals for that confrontation, which is good. So I might actually do that. Like I say, if it doesn't seem like anyone's going to summon me for this fight, then I'll give that a try, because there will definitely be people at a soul level high enough to actually summon me there. Again, if anyone wants to pull me up on saying soul level, even though it's Dark Souls 2, and soul level is not the basis upon which a person can or cannot summon you in Dark Souls 2, I'm going to beg you to shut up. Like, I know, okay? I'm going to be on my hands and knees, forehead placed to the, like, pressed against the ground begging you to stop. Because I know that. It rolls off the tongue. It's how I say it. That is what I'm trying to express, you know? In every other game you say soul level, so that is what I will say in this Souls game as well. This does not feel like it's working, so what I'm going to do is I will proceed to the boss door and place the sign down again. I haven't removed my sign because you never know. Someone might actually summon me between the moment when I choose to leave that sign and then place down a new one at the boss door. I need to actually get to the boss door, you see. Goodbye. Oh, he's got a head. Lost my opportunity. Oh dear. I'm glad that I'm dealing so much damage to you guys, actually, now that I look at it. I believe this place is... Stop! Do you know, one of the things that I hate the most about Souls games, it is when you are holding the circle button to run, and your character just refuses to run. I hate that shit. That has always bothered me. I don't remember if that's a problem in Demon Souls, but I know for certain that it is in the first Dark Souls game, and in pretty much every game thereafter. It's immensely frustrating. Like, if I'm holding the fucking button, run, goddammit. I see that you were attempting to kick me there, but you were notably unsuccessful. I don't like these guys. Never have, never will. That's satisfying. Alright, so I'm going to place my soul right about here. And if no one summons me, then I will, I don't know, shed a tear and then move on. I'll give it about 5 minutes. Obviously it can take even longer than that. Like, if I weren't live, I'd just go off and do something, I don't know. Whilst checking back to make sure I hadn't been summoned by someone, but it doesn't really work that way if I'm actually here live, so... Weirdly, I thought I was actually being summoned, but I think that was a bloodstain appearing where I was standing. Fun emotes. So this is what I would do if someone wanted to tell me, Doom-Link, it's not soul level. Soul level isn't what determines whether or not a person can connect to you in Dark Souls 2. Like, it changes what I'm saying at all. It's precisely what I'd be doing. I would perform that action, and I would say, please stop, I know. And I knew it so long ago that... No, I'm not even going to make that point. But, anyway. The funny thing is, whenever I say those things, whenever I preempt something someone's going to tell me, they never say it anyway. I don't know if that's because I preempt what they say, and then it stops them from saying it, or if, like, there was never any risk of people saying these things in the first place. It's hard to know. Lovely. Obviously, in the... there were quite a few different gestures that you could do when killing an invader back in Dark Souls that would really frustrate them. The one that I usually did was point down, which, oh, I mean, that was bad manners. That was, like, proper bad manners. Killing an invader and then doing the point down, that's what I did. It's because, like, quite frankly, if you're invading me, you're less than dirt. I don't have time for you. I mean, I would only do it, okay, I would only do it in a scenario when I'm just trying to play through the game, okay? If I'm in an invasion location, like, I'm thinking back to the PvP days, like, if I would stand in the kiln of the first flame intending to be invaded. I wouldn't do that, okay? Because that was a good invasion location if you wanted to be the area host. Occasionally you'd get some prick who would then try to lead you, like you were clearly standing there waiting to be invaded, and then some prick would try to lead you towards the Black Knights. Someone who behaved in that sort of way, yes, I would indeed point down after I completely slammed them into oblivion. But, you know, point down was only in those sort of circumstances. And for forest gankers, they get a point down. There must have been other ones as well. Point down comes to mind immediately. But there was obviously the, well, what is it? You know. But that was a bit too comical. That, I feel like that would elicit less frustration than point down. So... Yes, in Elden Ring you can teabag, that's true. Alright, well, I am fairly convinced that this is just not going to work, so I am going to Aged Feather my way back. Thank God for the Aged Feather, I've made such good use of that. And I will make my way to the King's Gate. Now the best thing about this is that even if I haven't accessed the King's Gate yet, like even if, for example, I didn't have the King's Ring, and I do, but even if I didn't have the King's Ring, I would be able to get summoned for the final boss fight. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that, actually. It's just logically in my... Hello? Do I need to actually open the door to be able to do it? You motherfuckers. Okay, I will open the door and then I will... Okay, I think that's their way of getting around that, isn't it? If you think about it. Otherwise, imagine you're just coming through Drangleic Castle for the first time and then you get randomly summoned for the final boss. It would almost ruin it. And also whoever summoned you would be quite disappointed in your inability to perform. But I think if I come in here and speak to the Emerald Herald, I should now be able to drop my summon side. I can see the whole of her head. Alright. Yeah, I'll put Nishandra to rest, but not in my own save file. I'll do it with someone else's save file. Do I have to stand on this side of the door? Hello? Thank you. Fuck's sake. Okay, so I seem to have a memory of being able to stand on that side of the door and summon people, but maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, I'm not sure. My sign is at the top of the stairs. If people can't see that shit, they're blind. Officially. Let's see what happens. Like I say, I have no particular desire to fight these bosses in my own save file right now, but I do definitely want sunlight medals. It's important to me. If it feels like it's just not going to work at all, you know, if there are just not enough people playing online in the original PC version of the game, then I will try to grind them from enemies in particular. I don't know which enemies drop them, but they do exist. I will actually double check now. Falconers in Things Betwixt. Confirmed drop, but it's rare. Falconers in Shaded Woods, and Falconers in Brightstone Cove, Tseldora. Now, presumably, Brightstone Cove would have a higher drop rate. Falconers, what do they look like? Yeah, those pricks. Brightstone Cove, Tseldora. I think I know where I can find them in that location. Slightly frustrating because I wonder if I need to be in the Covenant in order to get them. Because here we are, back at the same problem we were having before, where if I am grinding for something, if I'm having to kill enemies repeatedly, it would actually be better to be in the Covenant of Champions so that those enemies don't despawn. Presumably they will drop sunlight metal. They will drop light. Presumably they will drop sunlight metals even if I'm not in the Sunlight Covenant. But do I take that chance? Well, I'm sure it's not problematic to take the chance, to be honest. I could just do it. Potato, why precisely would I play Scholar of the First Sin? Can you answer me that? Why would I do that? But yes, I'm playing the original version, which could not be clearer, as I'm sure you now realize. I'm not seeing any suggestion that you need to be in the Covenant in order to get the Sunlight medals, so I'm just going to assume that they will drop, even if I'm in the Covenant of Champions, and that is possibly a more attractive approach than what I'm trying to do now. It shouldn't be. Fighting bosses sounds a lot more fun than killing falconers in Brightstone Cove, but I can't just be standing around doing nothing. Well, I'm not just anyone, am I, Potato? I'm Doomlink. Fuck's sake. Alright. That's it. Let's give the Falconers a try. I've got no other choice, do I? At this point. I have to try. Back to the Covenant of Champions, I think. Of course, I'm going to attempt to get Sunlight medals while being in the Covenant of Champions, because otherwise I'm going to run the risk of those enemies despawning, and I don't want that, so let us make our way back to the bonfire. Go back to Majula. Abandon our fucking Covenant. And then join the Champions Covenant, and then go to Brightstone Cove, and hopefully we'll actually be able to get the medals without too much time having passed. The last time that I did any grinding for medals or, you know, some sort of Covenant offering, rather than doing it through multiplayer, was actually for the Dark Moon Covenant in Dark Souls 3, and that was fucking miserable. I did that for, I think it was Dark Moon Blade in Dark Souls 3. That took so long. That was about 10 hours of farming. That was extraordinary. And so, yeah, not really looking forward to anything close to what I experienced in that game to level up the Dark Moon Covenant, but presumably that was still more favorable than the multiplayer grinding option. I don't know, but okay, Abandoned Covenant, yes please. I actually don't find Majula to be melancholic. I think it's uplifting. It gives me more of a sense that there's hope in the world. It feels like a yeah, that's the feeling that I get. I don't get any poignancy from this location. Okay, so let's go and join the Covenant of Champions. I have got no idea what sort of drop rate we are looking at for Sunlight medals from the Falconers in Brightstone Cove, but I'm assuming that it's not going to be too bad, provided we use the Gold Serpent Ring. And what are you talking about? I'm not in a Covenant. Oh, it will set me upon an arduous path. I think what it technically does is it makes the... Jesus Christ. I think it makes the enemies slightly stronger when you join this Covenant. Which is ironic, considering that the very first time that I played this game, I immediately joined this Covenant. Anyway, little did I know. But that's the reason why they give you that warning. But yeah, I really like Majula as well. It's very peaceful music, and the location. I mean, it's a very drab and unexciting location visually, but they still managed to give this, and it's obviously done through the time of day and through the music. The location still has this really serene emotion that it imparts on the player. It's the location as well, it's on the coast. It's pretty impressive. I remember having very high hopes for this game when I got to Majula the first time. It's pretty obvious why. Because you'd start in this very grey, monochrome almost location, you know, all the colours were the same, very washed out. And then you'd come here, and it was just that. It was a sort of a similar experience to going to Anor Londo for the first time. It was like, oh wow. You know, it was bright and it was alive in a way, but also very relaxed and subdued. Yeah, I was very impressed with this location when I first saw it. But then I played the rest of the game, and yeah, I was no longer impressed. So, that was the situation. Alright, so let us give those falconers a try. They are apparently the glitched animation enemies. That is how they have been described. I think the Royal Army campsite has a few of them. As I say, presumably the drop rate is going to be the best here. They appear in Things Betwixt, Shaded Woods, and here. So, there we are. Let's put on a Jester's cap. And what else? Probably, not just probably, but certainly, the Gold Serpent Ring. Okay, we want to go this way. I know that there are some... I thought they were here. I'm remembering wrong. I will find some, don't worry. It gives enemies more damage and more health. Up to 50% more. I don't know why it depends on the enemy that you encounter. Don't know why they choose to complicate it in that way. I think there are some falconers over this way. Unless they're not that way. Where are they? These enemies with the dark infused weapons. In my memory, they were falconers, so where are the falconers? Where did they go? Where have they gone? I don't know if I have a favorite location in this game. Let me think. I'll have to jog my memory by looking through all of this. A favorite location. Yeah, I really like the dragon area as well. Presumably that's what you meant when you said Dragon Peak, unless that's a different location. I actually thought the Doors of Pharos were pretty cool. Had a nice look to it. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't like the locations in this game all that much, to be honest with you. So it's a difficult question for me to answer personally. You think that's what it was called, Potato? It's almost like I had already said it in the live stream and actually highlighted it in the recording. In the bonfire list. I don't even know where that is. That must be somewhere. I need to actually discover all of these locations because I mean, that is Belfry Luna, I know that. But I just don't know what all of these are. That's probably Belfry Sol in that case. That would be Belfry Sol, that's Belfry Luna. That's the bonfire for killing the optional boss that takes you to that weird blood covenant. And then possibly most of these are DLC, although some of them may not be. But yeah. I haven't gone to all of the bonfires just yet, and I may do so. But for now, I need to look for falconers. I don't even know where the hell they are. There has to be a good place to go to reach them quickly and then reset the area. I was trying to think, because I don't recall seeing them deeper in Brightstone Cove, but maybe my recollections shouldn't be relied upon at this point. So how about I just progress through Brightstone Cove and actually just look for them? That might be the wisest course of action. Hello. I was hoping that you guys would, I don't know, die. Maybe a slightly optimistic desire. Oh, for God's sake. I don't know if my weapon just isn't very effective against them, or if this is technically a New Game Plus. I don't think it is, because I definitely did use a bonfire ascetic on one of these bonfires, but it was the one, I believe, further in Brightstone Cove. No, I wouldn't have done that. Not in this build. I do that in my magic build so that I can get the Moonlight Greatsword from the Duke's dear Freya. She drops that in New Game Plus, so yeah, I'm on the lookout for falconers. Yeah, I'll piss off the spiders. Come at me. Here they are. Oh, I thought they were going to be more pursuant than that. Come on. Come on. Oh, not enough of you. Yeah, okay. Are they all dead? I think so. What's in the chest? Heavy bolt times 20. That's not very exciting. Why would... Why? Why is there a Mastodon Greatsword there? It's a cool weapon. Looks very nice. It's one of the prettiest greatswords in the series, in my opinion. But, you know, it's sort of like a gilded Zweihander. But I don't think its stats are all that exciting. Not from memory. I actually could check now, but don't really feel like it. I'm personally convinced of the fact that the stats are not very exciting. Okay, well, we have reached the next bonfire just about, and I still haven't found any falconers, so... Where the hell are they? Well, apparently Potato maintains that Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, was a complete fuck-up in the first season. I just remember that there was strong anticipation that it was going to be shit, but I didn't realize that people still thought it was shit. I don't know if you mean it was a fuck-up in terms of poor reception, in terms of low interest, or in terms of how it was written, or all of the above, but yeah. Good to know. I don't really consider that to be off-topic, not really. The topic doesn't have to specifically be Dark Souls. I'm not that strict about that. I mean, I don't want to have the chat suddenly turn into a big rant about Pokemon, you know, but don't mind having a small chat about different subjects here and there. It makes things more interesting, doesn't it? Oh, great. That's exactly what Tolkien would write. Doesn't that sound like Tolkien to you? Sauron became bad because he got rejected by a love interest. That's Tolkien right there. Perfect. Anyway. Oh, that was fairly obvious that that was going to happen. I should have made it very clear that I knew that there was a risk of that. Because I didn't make that verbally clear, it looked as if I had just walked into that. Completely unknowingly. Oh, I knew. Insists Doomlink. I got a petrified dragon bone. This wasn't a complete waste of my time after all. Who would have thought there are actually benefits associated with I hate that shit. Does not happen from this side. I don't even remember how to get to that fucking bonfire. This location is so confusing. Ugh, anyway. Yes, come on. Have at you, spider. Arachnid. Admittedly, I never counted the legs. I don't know if there are 8. There could be 7. There could be 9. Varus Lockstone. Can this thing producing a degrading mist die? There you go. Got my words out. I was about to say mist of degradation, and then I realized that that was a little bit too poetic. I could have said, you know, excreting a deleterious substance. Then I decided that was even more poetic and unnecessary. Seriously, I don't like these enemies that attack me from a distance. After whatever it's called, what's it called again? Shrine of Amana. After Shrine of Amana, now I do realize that in terms of the order in which you will take on areas in this game, this area comes first, but of course this isn't the first time I've played the game. So I can comfortably say, based on that, that after having experienced Shrine of Amana, I really don't have the time or patience to deal with any enemy that wants to attack me with some fucking ranged magic that takes an eternity to reach me. It's just annoying and unpleasant. And makes me anxious. If you actually have anxiety, I would, or a particular anxiety problem, don't play this game. Or just don't play Souls in general, but particularly this game. Hello. Do you have a dagger or did you just punch me? I can't quite tell. What's going on? Actually, no, that's petrification, I think. Not, he's not degrading anything with his mist. It's petrification. Get it right, didn't I? He's going to turn me to stone. Oh no. Take that, motherfucker. No! So where are the falconers? I feel like this is going to turn into a meme. Because I'm here, and I'm not seeing them. Where are the falconers? They are apparently present in Brightstone Cove. I haven't found any. And I've just about passed through the whole of the goddamn area, or at least everything that would reasonably constitute Brightstone Cove. And I've yet to find any. Are they hiding in a room? Well, there is every likelihood that Fextra Life has misinformed me for the billionth time. I don't know why I keep trying to inform myself by reading their bilge. But, Fextra Life is my source for this information. Have I once again wasted my time? I can try the Shaded Woods. I know that they're in the Shaded Woods. I think. Aren't they? Where in the Shaded Woods? I need to answer that question. Where in the Shaded Woods are they? Well, I'm out of here. I haven't found any fucking falconers, and I'm upset. Let's go to God knows where. In the Shaded Woods. Because there's a few different directions you can go in, that's the point. This is the Shaded Woods. So all throughout here, there could be fucking falconers. I don't remember seeing any. I thought I did, but then I realized, no, I don't really remember seeing any. So I can start here. I'm trapped. Oh, this fucking garbage. I don't even have the energy for this shit. I'm just gonna move on to the next bonfire. Seriously. Well, Potato, I usually use the Wikidot wikis. But, when I'm feeling lazy and I just want to click the top option and get the most visually attractive resource, I will, at times, choose Vextra Life, and I find myself regretting it every fucking time. Just goes to show that there's no point polishing a turd. It's still a turd, no matter what. I think there are falconers over here. Like the Shrine of Winter fucking place. Do you know what I mean? I explained that very articulately. But I think you know what I mean when I say that. Well, this is the King's Gate. Not the King's Gate. That's not where I want to go. I just want to find some falconers. I mean, this has actually been one of the least eventful live streams in a Souls game that I've ever done. I've just been wandering around aimlessly. So what have I achieved? I have achieved in this recording leaving the Covenant of Champions, joining the Sunlight Covenant, and then leaving the Sunlight Covenant, and then rejoining the Covenant of Champions. That is what I have achieved in this live stream. I've probably been live for over an hour now, so I don't know if you're enjoying it, but I hope you are. It's as good as it's going to get at the moment. It's definitely bullshit. I'm keeping my Jester cap and my Gold Serpent ring on just in case I happen to find a falconer just randomly somewhere. And, you know, I might actually forget to put my stuff on before I fight it. So, if I already have my stuff on, I have effectively removed the possibility of making that mistake.
Shrine of Winter.
Falconers, hello? Anywhere? Anyone? Where are they? I can, you know, fight a Heidi Knight. The enemies up here are definitely not falconers, so no. Okay, well there's only one other location that I can try, and I don't have any memory of them being there, but that's where we're gonna go. The third bonfire of the Shaded Woods. The Shaded Ruins. Where are they? 'Tis the golden question, because I don't remember seeing them anywhere here. So, unless I'm going crazy, I think it is safe to assume that they are not here. You don't respawn, do you? Oh my god. If everyone can just relax, please. Ow. Yeah, well. Doomlink. if you're using your left-hand weapon to cast, it probably means that you don't have your shield equipped, so attempting to press the shield button under those circumstances, quite frankly, makes you look like a real dunce. So it would be best not to do that. Just generally speaking, I'd recommend against it. It is ill-advised. Okay, come on, man. I'll take you all on. See, as soon as I stand out here, it's on for the young and old. I get about 100 enemies attacking me. Or so it feels. Oh, this time I actually wanted to have my chime equipped and I was shielding. I'm struggling with the basics of playing the game. Only because I'm becoming increasingly disenchanted with the circumstances as they develop. I don't want to take on multiple of these guys. I really don't. That was very athletic of you. But that actually benefited precisely no one, what you just undertook to do there. Alright. Attack, and then die. Thank you. Alright, now for your friend. I will coax an attack. I was going to coax an attack out of him, and then I missed my opportunity to get a second drink. Oh, it's all going wrong. Yeah, so the problem with these enemies is that they are quite resistant to lightning BNS, I can tell, because they were taking a whole lot more damage from my dark weapon than anything else. So what was that? That was a lion great axe. This thing looks cool. Looks cooler than the Gurm great axe anyway. I mean, this looks a bit... actually, this looks a bit cobbled together, doesn't it? This looks like something you'd find in a Saxon grave. You know what I mean? Like, this just looks like shit. I'm not a fan of the Gurm Great Axe, but I have officially decided to officially revoke the statement made before. Hastily revoked. Okay, hello. I suppose withdraw is a better word. Ooh, Jesus. Didn't really need to have a forensic examination of your anal tract. But thanks for putting it on display. Hello. Can you die, please? I don't remember if it respawns or not. I am killing it upon the assumption that it... Well, actually, I hope it doesn't respawn. Oh, sorry, I hope it does respawn, because if it does, it means I might be able to get a supply of petrified dragon bones from this thing. Let's actually check. I'm interested. No, hold on. What I'll do is I will look for falconers first, and then I will try to remember to check to see if that thing respawns. I don't think it does, but you never know. Maybe the Covenant of Champions means that it does respawn. Who knows? Of course, I would assume not, but I am at risk of being cursed, just being in this area. Oh. That looked like quite a... Oh, I'm fast rolling with my Jester's cap. That's very nice. No, I did not watch Vikings. If I want to watch a fucking porno, I'll go on to xvideos.com or something. Seriously. Vikings. Did I watch Vikings? Okay. Like, seriously, I can watch a fucking porno where it's actually explicit and is actually going to help me get it up. Unbelievable. Did I watch Vikings? It is a fucking porno. I think the industry has taken sex sells a little too far. Peaberry insists that he has not watched television in a long time. Maybe I'm thinking of a different story. I can't actually remember. Yeah, maybe I'm conflating Vikings with a different TV show. That's possible. It depends how long it's been airing. If it's been airing since approximately 2017 or 2018, then it's a porno, okay? Because it means it's the one that I'm remembering. Can we agree? We can agree, thanks. Get backstabbed. Where are the falconers? I just heard an interesting sound. But I do not know where it originated from. Oh, Vikings has been going since 2011. Well, maybe that was when I became aware of it. Human effigy, bleeding serum. Things Betwixt in New Game Plus seems like my best bet. Well, quite frankly, I would just like to find some fucking falconers in any location that's not Things Betwixt, because to be honest, like, I'm not all that convinced that they even exist outside of Things Betwixt at this point. I haven't been able to fucking find any. I think that's perfectly reasonable to direct me towards falconers in other locations outside of Things Betwixt, but so far I've gone to both Brightstone Cove and the Shaded Woods and I cannot fucking find any. And if they were this difficult to find, I should have been given further directions. I'm referring to Fextra Life specifically here. I demand more information, Fextra Life. Particularly information that's not wrong. That would be my first preference, and then second of all, I'd like more direction. If it's not so obvious, which it clearly is not. Alright, let's find out if that giant basilisk thing will respawn. If it doesn't, then I will shed a tear very briefly. Okay, I have shed my tear. Let us now go to Things Betwixt. I don't know if there is a bonfire that I could incorrectly asceticize. I'm assuming that there is just one bonfire for Things Betwixt. Yes, it is just that one, Firekeeper's Dwelling. Well, if I use a bonfire ascetic on that, then that might actually be what we want. I don't think that area is New Game Plus, Peaberry. Let's see what the drop rate for sunlight medals is for the regular falconers. I don't seem to recall getting any sunlight medals from these guys at all. Do you know what frustrates me? The only reason why I didn't actually bother with this location is because 3 locations that involved falconers were mentioned, and only one of them suggested that the drop rate was rare. The other 2 locations, which was Shaded Woods and Brightstone Cove, did not actually suggest that the drop rate was rare, or that it was a low drop rate. So naturally I avoided this location, but it seems like this is still the ideal location, so color me confused, thoroughly confused. Alright. I'm going to do some more investigation. Sunlight medal drop rate. How often do sunlight medals drop from falconers? That's on Reddit. I'd rather use GameFAQs than Reddit for just endless reasons. I'm having a good investigation. I don't want to turn things betwixt into New Game Plus unless I have to. Yeah, it's really low. Oh, they only have a chance to drop them in New Game Plus. So this is fucking miserable. I'd be better off trying to get summoned for a boss fight, almost. Right? Or would I not be better off doing that? Again, that's the only reason why I'm doing this. I get why they've made it so hard to get them non-multiplayer. It's because it's designed to be a multiplayer thing, but they want to still make it possible if you can't connect online. I'm sure there are people still playing this game in the original version. It's just the problem is because there are far less people, I'm going to be, like, just for one specific boss. I can't just drop a summon sign for every fucking boss. I'd love to be able to, but I can't. I have to commit to one specific boss. So what are the chances that one specific boss is going to have someone turn up, you know, every few minutes when there's only 300 people playing? What if of those 300 people, only 30 of them are actually playing online? And like actually participating online, and of those 30, how many of them are going to turn up for the boss fight that I've actually dropped my sign to play with? Like, do you know what I mean? It's a little bit confusing. Like, I don't know whether to keep pursuing that. Like, do I make that a task that I do off camera? Because I've done a lot of this stuff off camera. Anything that is really, you know, going to require repetitive grinding, I do try to do off camera, but this may actually turn into a situation where there's so much waiting involved to get summoned that might also be an off-camera task, which is unfortunate. I can't believe I've been led astray. There's some fucking YouTube video that is from Hidden Squids Gaming. Okay. Oh, that's in Dark Souls 3. That's helpful. Absolutely no mention in the YouTube title that it's even Dark Souls 3, I might mention. Very well titled. Doomlink Gaming. Alright. So there's a nice old thread on PlayStationTrophies.org. Does the Watch Dragon Palmer Shield actually help with drop rates? This motherfucker's gone hardcore. He's also using rusted coins. So there are apparently falconers at Seldora Den Bonfire. Is this... So this is from 2015, so it can't be for Scholar of the First Sin, right? I think Scholar of the First Sin was 2016, or I could be wrong. Maybe it was 2015, I don't remember. I was so thoroughly disenchanted with the game at that point that I switched off, but... so he insists that there's falconers there. The Palmer does help. There you go. What am I doing? I am checking Brightstone Cove to see what the names of the bonfires are. What the fuck is that? Is that the problem here? I don't have access to that bonfire. Now that is the bonfire that you actually need to use a bonfire aesthetic on in order to change the new game level of the boss. I know precisely which bonfire that is, and I guess you could describe it as a den, but I don't remember there being any falconers there. So, Seldora Den Bonfire in Brightstone Cove. That must be it. Apparently Ruined Fork Road Bonfire does have falconers as well. So there's 5 falconers at Ruined Fork Road and 7 at Brightstone Cove. This guy, it's quite extraordinary. This one guy, just in his one comment, it's not even in response to someone's question. Like, he's just made a post on PlayStation Trophies, and it has been more comprehensive and informative than anything that I've read on either Fextra Life or Reddit or anywhere else, even GameFAQs, and I've absorbed all this information within the space of about 2 minutes. I mean, good on him. I also forgot that the symbol of avarice was in this game as well. Which it is, but I don't know if that helps. Presumably the Jester's Cap would be, like, better than that. I seem to recall that you would reach, like, a cap in the first Dark Souls game for item discovery. Alright, I might have to investigate what's going on with this. Look, what I would say is that it might be worth doing some grinding off camera. I don't mind doing that, but it looks like I need to make some arrangements to even be able to do that. So I may as well do that on camera here. What I'm going to try and do is get to this bonfire. I have forgotten how to do that, but I will try to figure it out. For better or for worse, I'm actually going to do it here with you now, because it's really confusing, and I almost want to demonstrate how confusing it is, or how unclear and obscure the pathway is to get to this bonfire, because I have gotten there many times, and yet I still can't remember how to do it. Extraordinarily. Like, I just can't remember how to do it. So, you've got 2 key locations here in this section. You've got this one, and then you've got the other side, which we can view through here. So really, as I understand it, the bonfire is, I think, is it down there? That's probably the first thing that I need to establish. Is the bonfire on this side or on that side? I think it's on that side, actually. Yeah. So if it's on that side, I have to try to get there through here. Probably. Let's just give this a try. This is a way through, I guess. I don't know. Fucking destroy the door. I don't have time to open doors. Never mind, I have time to open doors. So, this is an alternative route to the one that I took to get to this place last time. Now, no, I don't think the bonfire's on this side, is it? Well, I have to figure that out first. There's something about how Brightstone Cove is designed. It's really just, it's almost like a labyrinth. So, the bonfire is not on this side. It is in the other location. I don't know if I can access it from here or not. I almost don't have the energy, but I'm doing it. Well, I think you're right, Peaberry. I think that there is a certain amount of grinding that has to be expected when you're playing through these games, but it can also be said that when I'm live streaming or recording, it's probably better to show game progression, which still makes up a huge percentage of the experience. So I think where possible, I'm going to avoid repetitious grinding on camera. No, don't close the door. I want to pick up the item, please. Human effigy. Well, I'm glad that I'm accumulating more of these. I think it's been made very clear that I need as many as possible. I think it's been made abundantly clear. So, can I open that door? Is that a door that can't be opened from this side? No, it can be opened. But I don't think it leads anywhere. Okay, so that's not an option. I feel like I need to start working from the other side because, yeah, that is the one that's too heavy to open, and I think that is a door that might relate to whatever direction takes me to that bonfire, if that makes sense. So it's not that I would go through that door from this side, it is that if I were going from that bonfire, I think it might eventually take me to that door. I could be wrong, but it's based on a vague recollection of how... Get through the fucking door, please. I don't have time for this. That is what I have decided. How do I get to where I just came from? Should I give up and use my... I think I'm going to give up and use my aged feather. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and stake out that first place to start with, to make sure that I can't reach that bonfire from there. Now, I know where I am here, and I know how it links to that area. This is generally unhelpful. Like, going from this direction, I don't think will get me to that bonfire. I'm pretty positive because I've gone this way many times, because it's sort of a shortcut to Ornifex. So what I'll do is jump over here, and maybe I'll zipline down. Well, it's not really ziplining, you know what I mean. I need to kill you, not you. I mean, I will kill you. Can you please be in targetable distance? Otherwise you're going to hit me, aren't you? You are. I know how you work. Yo, so clever. My problem was that I couldn't prevent that scenario, so I gave it a try, and then it happened. You know, it's not like it was unpredictable, like, oh wow, what a surprise. I couldn't kill you, mate. That was the problem. Alright. Let's try it again. But I think that might actually be the way to do it. I think I need to use the zipline thing. Oh no, he's started. Stop. Oh, he's casting it into the wall. Go, 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 go. Quickly. Very good. Can't fucking see shit. Doomlink's full vocabulary is on display, as he exclaims he cannot see shit. Or whatever I was saying. I think this might be where I need to go. And it might not have been as abstruse as I was suggesting that it was. But still somewhat unclear. Oh, we've got a ladder. That might be what we want. There's the bonfire. So, if this bonfire is not called something den... It cannot use bonfire, well that's fine, I've got some spiders to contend with. So, once again, I have no recollection of there being any falconers here, right? So, this is Lower Brightstone Cove. So where is Brightstone Den fucking bonfire? Where is that? Royal Army Campsite, Chapel Threshold, Lower Brightstone Cove. So there is no other bonfire, surely, because we've established that those are all of the bonfires for Brightstone Cove. So what is this guy talking about? Seldora Den in Brightstone Cove. What is that? Seldora Den key. It's a key to the den. Those unaware of the ancient deeds of the holding. So, it's given by Pate or Creighton. So it seems like some sort of optional location that requires interaction with NPCs. Opens a locked door in Brightstone Cove. Before it, there is another. So you smash the door that says too heavy to open, and then the sand comes out, obviously. So, I guess if you go through that door, then you will be able to find falconers, right? I'm not seeing any indication that there's actually a bonfire there. That is what he described, possibly in error. But the mention of Seldora Den is something that I can work with. Now, if I speak to... I haven't killed Pate. So... Creighton, I'm assuming he's the guy who wants to kill Pate. So, I need to give him the Ring of Thorns, which I do not at this stage have. What I'm a little bit frustrated by is that to actually access these falconers, which I may or may not want to kill for purposes of leveling up this covenant, I need to get a ring and then speak to a guy and then get a key and then open a door, and it's a little bit stressful, but I might just have to do it. So right before the chapel threshold bonfire, there is a cliffside you can descend off to land. In front of a house below, you will find Creighton and Pate fighting inside. Well, I've already completed that location. So what's really confusing here is that this so-called confrontation... I mean, have I spoken to... Maybe I need to speak to him in his first encounter opportunity, you know, like where I can first find him. Maybe if I speak to him in the Undead Lockaway, exhaust his dialogue there, and then go to Brightstone Cove with Pate still alive. Perhaps even if I have completed, or rather killed the boss of Brightstone Cove, that event can still take place. Might actually have even been better. Yeah, I'll learn your gesture. Fist pump. May have actually been better to kill Pate, get his ring, and then just give it to Creighton somewhere else. Alright, do we go to Chapel Threshold and then go into that house? So it's... I believe I know to where it was referring, so must exhaust all dialogue with both NPCs before the fight happens. If I have acquired the soapstone from Pate, does that also count as all dialogue being exhausted? Because I think it's in this building, isn't it, where they're fighting, apparently. No? Maybe. Actually, do you know what? I do remember there being a bonfire in this building, weirdly enough. I remember it vaguely. So I guess it's an extra bonfire, that's why it doesn't show up as an undiscovered bonfire. That must be what it is. So... I need to make sure that I'm actually in the right building to start with. Where did I read the description to show me, or rather to describe where it is? Because I'm trying to find that now. How about I ensure, to start with, that I've actually exhausted Pate's dialogue? That's the most important thing. I feel almost silly doing this. But... and the reason why is because I've been playing this game on and off since it came out, and yet I need to follow a guide pretty much word for word to be able to do this right. But it is what it is. Whatever's necessary. I was hoping that by having acquired the soapstone from Pate, that therefore meant that I had spoken to him as much as I could have done, but I probably can't assume that, can I? Oh, he has moved on. Well, I suppose that means his dialogue has been exhausted then, unless he appears elsewhere. For fuck's sake, do I have to speak to him in another location? Earthen Peak? Oh, fuck off. So he's probably at Earthen Peak now because he's moved on. I should have just killed the prick, gotten his ring. Ironically, that's what Creighton calls him a prick. That was just my own word that I chose to use to describe the guy. So, I probably need to find him at Earthen Peak. Oh my god, this is a nightmare. I've decided I'm not going to do it. Forget it. Because again, this is only to get sunlight medals. I don't see a reason for it. I think I should just keep trying to get summoned. That's what I'm going to do. Which, therefore, might mean I need to do this off camera. How long have I been live? Only an hour and 47 now. Okay. What I might do is, rather than actually proceeding through the game completely, what I might do is take care of some bonfires that I have yet to discover, because I was thinking that that might be a nice thing to do with all of my builds. Just try to, at least in Dark Souls 2, because it is something that you can do, I want to discover all of the bonfires, right? I know what this is, and I know what boss is involved, so I will do that. This is also Belfry Luna, I might do that now. That just feels like a good way of completing the save file. So I think I will push myself to do that before going on to New Game Plus officially and whatever. This is not even the bonfire that I want now that I think about it. What I want is this bonfire, the Servants' Quarters. But before going on to New Game Plus, I think what I want to do is to have been to every location in the game, within reason. At least to have all of those bonfire locations populated. So I think to get to Luna we need to go this way, and I think it is accessed via Faris Lockstone. Just here. There are benefits and also detriments to having your sword attack vertically like that. There we go. Belfry Luna. Now, the boss in this location is obviously from the first Dark Souls game. It is a miserable confrontation in most scenarios. You can actually join this guy's covenant, if I remember correctly. It's either this guy or the guy in Belfry's Soul. It might be Belfry's Soul. It's an invasion covenant. Who knows? I might be invaded while I'm here, I hope not. But you will actually be summoned in a similar coloration to this enemy here. And, yeah. Your purpose is to defend the bell from people who want to ring it or something. Oh yeah, so we need to raise the bars on the door, so... Or raise the grate, whatever you want to call it. And we need to go up here to do it. Giving myself some space to actually fight these guys. Shockingly, it takes 3 hits with this weapon. Might need to change to a better weapon. Or give my hammer a try. It's still 3 attacks. Fucking hell. How many of you are there? No, I didn't intend to do that. Fucking hell. Oh, they are choosing to, instead of pursue me, to go ranged, which is not what I had anticipated, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't have used Darkstorm while standing so far away from them. You can get out of here. And actually, you can get out of here, now that I think about it. What a prick. What a petulant creature. He deals a little bit of damage through my shield because he's got a dark-infused weapon. So the plan here is, now that I've raised the grate, so how it works is you ring the bell and then it raises the grate on the door. As you can see. But I have no intention of actually going up against this boss with so few Estus flasks. That is actually something I need to try and improve before I proceed through the game, because I have been very lazy with that. Getting Estus flask shards and undead bone shards. Or undead bone fragments, whatever they're called. Can't remember now. I actually didn't know they used the same music. That's kind of funny. I don't know if we should look at it negatively that they... Or rather, I don't know if we should consider it being reused. Is it actually at that point where they have completely reused the assets? It's not just imitating it. Because in a sense, it's nice to have a boss harken back to a previous boss from a previous game, but... I suppose it depends on how similar it is. I don't remember anymore. It's been a little while since I've fought them. Oh, fuck. What are you doing here? They might be small, but they're deadly. Now, interestingly, there is no boss for Belfry Sol, but there is one for Belfry Luna. Why? How did I get through so many Estus? Oh, I didn't rest at the bonfire. See, I'm so used to having the same effect as having rested at the bonfire be applied to your character when you warp to the bonfire. That is not the case in this game. You have to manually rest at it. Why? I've got no fucking idea. But that's From Software. That is what they think is necessary and helpful. What an excellent idea. It's just what I like. I love wasting my fucking time for no real benefit whatsoever. We're talking about literally a step backwards from the first Dark Souls game, just to make it more, I don't know, time-consuming to do things, because, I don't know, difficulty. Let's add difficulty in really arbitrary and unhelpful ways. Like, I don't know, it's not good enough to just get all of your Estus Flask consumptions back when you warp to the bonfire. You need to sit at it as well. Fuck off. You know, that sort of behavior. What are these midgets supposed to be? Maybe it's a species. It's like a species of people. Because, for example, you look at the guy who's giving the covenant, or not the one who is actually in this location, but the one that can be found who looks the same in Belfry Soul. He's also a midget, so it must be a species. Alright. Let's see how we fare in this boss fight. I don't know if we're going to do well. I don't remember how hard it is. I remember it being really hard when you come through here the first time. It's a fucking nightmare. It is harder than the... Yeah, see, this is not the same. I don't... P-Berry, I disagree with this being the gargoyles reused, as you say. It is the same music. They are indeed gargoyles as a boss, but it's not like a reusing of the assets, so... They have been redesigned. These ones actually look metallic, which is kind of cool. So I would say that this has been changed enough to be worthwhile. Can you see how I'm getting ganged up on by these enemies? Imagine if you're dealing less damage or you have less defense. It's extraordinary. It's a genuinely difficult fight. And I'm being aggressively pursued as well when I'm trying to heal. Alright, congratulations. Alright. So the main reason why that was completely basic, simplistic, unchallenging was because I'm a very high level. That's a hard fight in pretty much all circumstances, so I don't want to take that away from the fight. Trust me, it's a nightmare. Southern Ritual Band. What can this be used for? It is... So I think, yeah, so this has a detriment associated with the effect. But this one just gives additional attunement slots. Additional attunement slots. So, you can actually continue a little further through here, and I will. It's like a little optional area. I can't remember what you get out of it. I think I get invaded when I drop to the bottom of this ladder. But I can't remember what I get out of it. But this is just a little extra area. I can get completely annihilated by dogs in this location for some reason. Mr. Vorgel, I don't know, Vorgel the Sinner. All I know is that he has sinned. I don't know who determined that he sinned. I don't know if he went to go and pardon himself and then was determined to have sinned so egregiously. Oh my god, really? This is the Can I just make it extremely clear? Like... This is just absurd. So, the situation is that I have the Giant's Ring and quite a lot of poise, and I just stood there and took those hits. Couldn't move. I had to roll, actually. What a joke. There might be a better way to deal with this. Is that better? Seems better. Yeah, I like that. Still got... He got launched. Alright. I don't know how there is still a dog that exists. And I also don't know why this Vorgil the Sinner is so aggressive. Take that, motherfucker. Yeah. So, in order to get the Bastille key, you actually need to do that. So whatever relates to the Bastille key, and I don't know what you need, or rather what requires the key to be... Oh, that's what it is. So if you want to fight the Lost Sinner in a lit room, you actually need to kill the gargoyles, get past here, and get the key. It's not this way in Scholar of the First Sin. They changed the Bastille key location. So, there you go. In the original version of the game, you need to do that in order to light the boss room, and I actually consider that to be unhelpful and unnecessary. Well, what I would say is that the amount of adversity you have to encounter and then deal with in order to then reduce the difficulty of the boss fight is not proportionate. It's actually better to just have a more difficult Lost Sinners boss fight than to kill those gargoyles, in my opinion. I find those bosses to be really unpleasant. Supremely so. No, don't leave the soul. Must have been in an animation or something. Okay, let's try leveling up. Maybe I can level up once, or, well, definitely not twice, but maybe once. We'll see. So, that's Belfry Luna. Taken care of completely.
Bearer of the curse.
Yeah, shut up. Just give me my level ups, please. Am I focusing on Vigor? So let me just double check this. So I reached 30 achievement. That was my last priority, I think. Aha, so I'm taking that to 20. I think that is what I was committing to. Let's... Actually, do you know what? I'm going to hold off on ADP until I next decide to grind the Giant Lord. I think with small individual level ups, it would be better to prioritize things that are going to make a more significant difference. For example, Vigor. So I'm going to put that in Vigor. I like that idea. I do need more stamina though, I'm conscious of that fact. Alright, let's do Belfry Soul. Almost level 200, yeah. Okay, Potato revealing to the chat that he doesn't like dragon hybrids. Apparently the Emerald Herald is a filthy dragon hybrid. The keyword being filthy. Fucking speciesist. Aha! Got you just before you could hit me, you prick. No, you don't. Or perhaps you do, and I actually can't stop you after all. Very well. As you wish, shelled creature. Come on, fall. Very good. That's what I like to see. I like how he continues to try and walk, even though he's clearly walking into lava. What an idiot. Alright. Another Pharos Lockstone, and this will open the way to Belfry Soul. As I said before, there is no boss for this location. But it's a real hotbed for invasions, so you can at times get invaded on the way to the Gargoyle boss, but you better believe it's going to be constant invasions when you go to Belfry Soul. Well, maybe in the Scholar of the First Sin version, because there are more people playing that for reasons that I actually cannot fathom. Well, I can fathom the reasons, but I still think it's pretty sad. So you can join the Covenant through this guy. He's making strange noises. No, I don't want to abandon my Covenant because you were laughing in my face. Something about having someone laughing in my face, it doesn't really entice me. Okay. I thought the game crashed or something. You can stop now, lady with the witch outfit. She's got a pumpkin on a stick! Why does she have a pumpkin on a stick? What kind of fucking joke loadout do you have? I get it, Halloween theme, you've got a bat on a stick, you're wearing a witch outfit, and then you fucking manifest a pumpkin on the end of it. Why? I sort of understand why, but I don't really understand why, if that makes sense. But yeah, the enemies are a bit more aggressive here, and they are not all midgets as well. This 10-year-old game is really hard on your computer. Sure is. Sad, isn't it? It's only because I'm live streaming as well. And that's really what changes things. That's why people have streaming PCs, you know. I don't think that can be underestimated, you know. If you're going to stream on PC, you kind of need a separate thing to take care of the PC load. Like, my computer was pretty much among the best PCs you could get in the year of 2017, and this game, obviously, is a PlayStation 3 game from 2014, so, you know, needless to say, PlayStation 3 specs were not even on par with PC specs when the Slim came out in 2009, so, yeah, this was far beyond what was needed at that time, but when you're live streaming, it just makes things a little more complicated, is what I would say. Oh, is it just about the anniversary? Yeah, it's almost the anniversary. 10 years of Dark Souls 2, what joy. What joy. You do actually need to ring this bell in order to proceed, otherwise you're stuck here. And I think when you ring that bell, that is when you can be invaded. I don't think you can be invaded until you ring it. I could be wrong, but seem to remember a correlation between the ringing of the bell and being invaded, so. This guy's got dual avalons, which is real cute. Unfortunately for him, he became completely incapable of doing anything, really. He just stood there, stock still, as I practically kissed him. Because, you know, he's used to ranged confrontations, and then all of a sudden, the guy that he wants to attack is literally standing over him. I think he might have dumped ass and just become paralyzed with fear. Because, you know, he's used to ranged confrontations, and he realized, oh shit, I'm using dual avalons, there's nothing I can do at close range. So, he just didn't have anything to do or say. So I killed him. There is no rhyme or reason to the geography of this game. Oh my god, I'm trying to run away from this guy. There is no rhyme or reason to the geography of this game, Potato, and you know why. It is because they did away with the same world crafting that the first Dark Souls had. And the reason why is because you can just warp from the beginning, so there was no reason to have everything be interconnected. So there is no sensible geography, it's a fucking mess. It's a truly terribly crafted world compared to, say, the first Dark Souls game. Oh, fuck off. How? I'm sorry, but I have... Can we just... So I've got the... What's my poise? My poise is 83.1 in this fucking game. How could this guy's arrow cause me to flinch that heavily? Guys, just stop, please. I'm out of fucking Estus. My character has to do the... Oh, it's empty. fucking animation, of course. Which is helpful to precisely no one. What I don't get is how the midgets are so strong. How are they so durable? So stout. I got human effigy out of that, which was good. I'm just heading up because I did notice that I missed something, and I think I went past a chest as well. Got Simpleton Spice. There is our chest. Very good. Immolation, the Pyromancy, which I'm not going to get any use out of. Oh my goodness. Iron Keep. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is Belfry Soul. That is all there is to do on that front. And now, I think to conclude the live stream, I will head over to Bridge Approach in Huntsman's Copse and take care of that optional boss. It's a boss that can be difficult to fight, but at this soul level I really shouldn't be concerned, or frightened, or uncertain as to whether or not I can succeed. I should be just fine. Hopefully. There is a technique to it. I know the technique. It's okay, and it also is made a little easier because I have ranged capabilities with this build. Hello. But yeah, the ranged capabilities make this a lot more doable. I'm not sure if it's worth it, but I will go and pick it up. Notched Whip. Hello. I hate these enemies. I thought that I'd just make that really clear. I absolutely hate these enemies. They piss me off. And I have good reason to hate them. I've spent a lot of time fighting them in my life. I'm just gonna run past them. I don't even have the energy right now. Whoa. Holy shit. By the way, they are going to pursue me right to the boss door, and they may actually hit me and kill me when I try to get through the boss door. Just gonna make that real fucking clear. Oh! This is New Game Plus. Why has... Oh! Okay, this is bad news. Well, that's actually putting it lightly. My only choice is to take this one step at a time, kill all of the enemies individually, and then deal with the fucking Black Phantom, and then take on the boss. Why have I used a Bonfire Ascetic here? What is... Oh, do you know what? That Black Phantom might just ordinarily appear there, and I've since forgotten after being used to the Scholar of the First Sin version, because I need to contextualize this for all of you. I hadn't really played the original version since the PS3 days, right? And then I went and got this game on PC, which was the Scholar of the First Sin version, which, you know, in my ignorance, I thought was just all of the DLC preloaded onto the game. I didn't realize it was literally a different version of Dark Souls 2. And, yeah, I then played Scholar of the First Sin and got used to that on PC, and then that sort of overwrote some of the memories that I had of the game. So I think in regular Dark Souls 2 that Black Phantom normally appears. Darkstorm is not a panacea. Like, if I get hit out of Darkstorm, I'm sort of fucked. I'm a little bit worried about the casting time of Darkstorm. It's not a bad idea, but... yeah, I think... or maybe I just don't have the... maybe I should be a little more tenacious. Maybe Darkstorm's better than I'm giving it credit. I just feel like these enemies will be fairly resistant to dark damage because they are using dark weapons, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure if Darkstorm's going to be that effective. Lightning BNS, on the other hand, is very effective. And there should be one more. Our friend right here. And now we just need to deal with the Black Phantom, and then we will be fine. I just don't want to be in a situation where I'm trying to get through the fog gate, and then the Black Phantom is hitting me out of going through the fog gate. That would be extremely annoying. Hello. He's very aggressive, as you can tell. Damn. Goodbye. Alright, now for the boss. I don't think I'm going to use a human effigy on this one. Let's go. The more I drink this Vantage Spirit, the more I get a gin taste from it. Very interestingly. I'm going to need to use Darkstorm quite a bit here, by the way. I do definitely want to kill you, now that I think about it, because otherwise I won't be able to kill these fucking undead creatures. Can you not get your invulnerability periods? Thank you. That might have been an excessively liberal use of Darkstorm. Alright. Let's proceed. Maybe... okay, we'll stop here. So the technique basically is that we need to advance as far through this area as we can until we reach a lever. But we need to contend with skeletons in the meantime, and we actually have 2 necromancers that will revive these skeletons. At the moment, I'm in an awkward situation. Okay, no. I was about to say I'm in a situation where I had respawning skeletons that I wouldn't be able to get past, but unfortunately I was able to get past them. They are really causing because they got me stuck in place there. You can see why technique is actually more important than anything else in this boss fight, and having to contend with these skeletons makes it much harder. What's very important is that you kill the necromancers so that the skeletons can actually die. That is what is essential here. This is not a boss fight that I like. It has frustrated me a lot in the past. But, I feel like I can deal with it now, hopefully, because I've got a pretty high soul level character. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that it's not really acceptable for this boss fight to be too difficult for me given my loadout. Whatever. Fortunately, I dealt with him before this other guy could get involved. How? How on earth did they all get prompted to attack me? Do you see what I mean? Like, this game sometimes is extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. You've seen it. You have seen me go through here and just edge towards the enemies and coax them all into attacking me. They all jumped on me in that moment. I've got no idea what I did, to alert every single one of them to the fact that I was there, because I didn't do anything to alert them. I know that for certain. It's just the game being inconsistent and poorly designed. That is all that was. Inconsistent and poorly designed. Fuck this shit. Alright, I need to deal with the... I think he's... Where is he? I can't let him be alive. That was problematic. I realised when I got to this point, without having actually killed him, that he was probably going to be behind me, which would make things a little harder, but anyway. Alright. Look at them all come down. What have I... Oh, maybe it's when you engage the boss, but that doesn't sound right. I've done this before. I've had to refight this boss many, many times. What have I done to make it so that these enemies are all alerted to my presence? I can... Do you know what? I can deal with them pretty quickly with... Oh my god, they still deal so much damage despite my defense. Can I just remind you all that this is a fucking optional area? Well, not the area itself, but to go in this direction is optional, so what the hell am I actually forcing myself to endure? This is bullshit. This is stupid. Oh, you're wanting to fight me now. Okay. Great. Look at them all running away. Wasting my fucking time. Hi. Absolutely unbelievable. They deal so much damage to me. I don't think it's because I hadn't killed the big guy at the small bridge. I mean, I understand that you're trying to, like, by process of elimination, determine why they did that, but that's not what it is. I have done this so many times. I've been in this same situation repeatedly where I have had to go through these same enemies over and over again while killing the boss of this area, and this hasn't happened before. So I can't personally imagine that not killing the large enemy on the bridge was the reason why, because definitely if I were doing this repeatedly, I wouldn't be killing him every time. Okay. Now the Black Phantom will not respawn, so that's one good thing. I should be fine to get through this fight this time. I took a bit too much of a chance going straight for the lever once I saw it. I should have been a little bit more cautious. He says as he becomes increasingly daring. Yeah, alright. I can take the hit. I'm like at a higher level now than when I would normally be here, okay? I really need a heal though. Arrgh! Fuck! It's my fault, isn't it, for being too aggressive. But, yeah, I hate this boss with a deep and unalloyed passion. Alright. I don't really know what to do, because I'm not in the state of mind to go through this slowly and carefully. I'm really not. So what do? You know why I'm not, don't you? It's because I don't even need to be here. I'm not actually going to get any fucking benefit out of this. Do you know what? I'm not doing this. I don't have the fucking... I've done this boss before. I've wasted my time with this boss before. I don't have the energy to do it now. I think I have done enough for this live stream. Done about 2.5 hours. I do thank you all for watching. I will figure something out for Sunlight Metals with the build. I'll either do it... It's going to be an off-camera process, and I wish that it wasn't. I don't want to do this shit off-camera, but I think I have to. So, anyway. I do thank you all for watching. I will see you next time I'm recording, and maybe or maybe not, I will have a level 30 Sunlight Covenant when you next see me with this build. Bye-bye for now.